Human psychology is a labyrinth of quirks and mysteries, often surprising us with its fascinating intricacies. From subconscious influences to peculiar behaviors, our minds harbor a treasure trove of oddities waiting to be discovered. Buckle up as we embark on a journey through the top 10 weirdest, mind-blowing psychological facts that will leave you scratching your head in amazement. Number 1. The Baader-Meinhof Phenomenon. Ever stumbled upon a new word or concept and suddenly started seeing it everywhere? That's the Baader-Meinhof phenomenon in action. A study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that individuals who were introduced to a new concept were more likely to notice it in subsequent encounters, even though the frequency of its occurrence remained the same. Number 2. The IKEA Effect. Who would have thought that assembling furniture could impact your sense of attachment? The IKEA effect refers to the tendency for people to place a higher value on products they have partially created themselves. That sense of accomplishment and personal investment can turn a simple bookshelf into a cherished possession. Researchers at Harvard University conducted a series of experiments and found that participants who assembled IKEA furniture themselves were willing to pay more for the end product compared to those who received pre-assembled furniture. Number 3. The Zeigarnik Effect. Have you ever had a song stuck in your head or couldn't stop thinking about an unfinished task? Blame it on the Zeigarnik Effect. This psychological phenomenon suggests that our brains have a tendency to remember incomplete or interrupted tasks better than completed ones. It's like our minds refuse to let go until we've crossed that proverbial finish line. Psychologist Bluma Zeigarnik first observed this effect in the 1920s while dining at a restaurant where she noticed that waiters could remember orders that were still pending but quickly forgot those that had been served. Number 4. The Pygmalion Effect. Ever heard of a self-fulfilling prophecy? The Pygmalion Effect is a prime example. It refers to the phenomenon where higher expectations lead to an increase in performance. In other words, if you believe someone is capable of achieving great things, they're more likely to rise to the occasion and prove you right. A classic study conducted by psychologists Robert Rosenthal and Lenore Jacobson in the 1960s demonstrated the Pygmalion effect in a school setting. Teachers were told that certain students were academic bloomers, leading to an actual improvement in the performance of these students over time. Number 5. The Dunning-Kruger Effect. Have you ever encountered someone who is completely unaware of their own incompetence? That's the Dunning-Kruger effect in action. This cognitive bias refers to the tendency for people with low ability in a particular area to overestimate their competence. In simpler terms, they don't know what they don't know. Psychologists David Dunning and Justin Kruger conducted a series of experiments at Cornell University, where participants with poor grammar and logical reasoning skills consistently overestimated their performance on tests compared to their actual scores. Number 6. Choice overload. More options, more problems. The phenomenon of choice overload occurs when an abundance of choices leads to anxiety and decision paralysis instead of increased satisfaction. Ever found yourself standing in the cereal aisle overwhelmed by the myriad of options? That's choice overload rearing its indecisive head. In a famous study conducted by psychologists Sheena Iyengar and Mark Lepper, shoppers at an upscale grocery store were presented with either 6 or 24 varieties of jam to sample. While more people were attracted to the larger display, those presented with fewer options were significantly more likely to make a purchase. Number 7. The halo effect. Looks can be deceiving, especially when it comes to the halo effect. This cognitive bias occurs when our perception of someone's positive qualities influences our overall impression of them, leading us to overlook their flaws. Psychologist Edward Thorndike first coined the term in 1920 after observing that military officers rated soldiers higher in all aspects of performance if they found them to be physically attractive. Number 8. The spotlight effect. Ever spilled coffee on your shirt and felt like the entire world was judging you? Welcome to the spotlight effect. This phenomenon refers to our tendency to overestimate how much attention others pay to us, believing that our every move is under a proverbial spotlight. In reality, people are often too preoccupied with their own lives to notice our blunders. A study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that participants consistently overestimated the extent to which others noticed and remembered embarrassing moments, leading to increased self-consciousness. Number 9. Inattentional blindness. Have you ever been so focused on one thing that you completely missed something happening right in front of you? That's inattentional blindness at work. This phenomenon occurs when we fail to perceive unexpected objects or events in our environment because our attention is directed elsewhere. It's like wearing blinders in a world full of distractions. In one famous experiment, participants were asked to watch a video of people passing basketballs and count the number of passes. In the midst of their counting, a person in a gorilla suit walked across the screen. Yet many participants failed to notice the gorilla because they were too focused on the task at hand. Number 10. The bystander effect. When faced with an emergency, the more bystanders there are, the less likely any one of them is to help. This counterintuitive phenomenon, known as the bystander effect, suggests that individuals are less likely to intervene in an emergency situation when others are present. It's like a diffusion of responsibility, where everyone assumes someone else will take action. In conclusion, exploring the quirks and intricacies of the human mind is a journey filled with surprises and wonder. These top 10 weirdest, mind-blowing psychological facts remind us that our brains are both mysterious and fascinating, capable of producing behaviors and phenomena that often defy logic. So, the next time you find yourself pondering the mysteries of the mind, embrace the weirdness and marvel at the complexity of our psychological landscape. After all, it's the strangeness that makes us uniquely human. Thanks for joining us on this journey through the top 10 weirdest, mind-blowing psychological facts. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more fascinating content like this, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an upload. And hey, if you've got any thoughts or experiences to share about these mind-bending facts, drop a comment down below. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, keep exploring the mysteries of the mind, and remember, stay curious.